Welcome to Tatyova. The birds, lots of them. Hope you're excited to see some birds today. As far as opening hand goes, we have one island in our hand. It does not sound that good. Let's go and mulligan. And yeah, I like this hand a lot. We'll go and keep on this one. We've got a nice evolved bird. Naya Panorama. Yeah, we'll go and put that on top because that will definitely allow us to be our fourth land drop to get down Tatyova. But yes, welcome to some birds. Hope you're excited for some bird tribal with Tatyova. If you're sitting there saying, hey, that doesn't make sense, then you are right. I just wanted to highlight how silly Tatyova can be. Let's go ahead and get down Cloudfin Raptor. That way we can get down the evolve trigger going, and then we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. We were playing Tatyova. Druid. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life and draw a card, which is just silly sometimes. Play against Scion of the Ur Dragon. Flying 2 mana activation, search your library for a dragon permanent card, put it into your graveyard. If you do, Scion becomes a copy of that card, then shuffle your library. But yeah, so with Tatyova, when you're drawing cards off of land drops, it just really enables any sort of silly thing that you want to do. And Bird Tribal is definitely it. Sorry about that, I had a little bit of a hiccup. But as far as what we're doing with bird, basically we're just looking to get down as many birds as possible, get down a coat of arms, and then also use some fun stuff like biomass mutation. I have not gotten to get a biomass win yet, so hopefully we will sometime. Let's get down Harbor, and then I guess we'll just go and leave up Cloudfin Raptor. Well, we'll go and let it, come on, let's quick little attack, and then we'll go and pass turn to our opponent. So at this point right now, we do have 4 lands in our hand. Hopefully we do hit that 5th land drop. We get down Tatyova and start to take advantage of that. We do have Life from the Loam in here, so that way if we do get into one of our fetch lands, or worst case scenario, we get down Naya Panorama, we can start bringing that out of the graveyard. We can get that going. Let's go and get down Forest, and then I think at this point, yeah, let's just go and pass the turn. Don't want to swing into 2 open mana. What we can do is, let's say our opponent does get a fetch land. It's not, this is Commander, but I'm not above it. But we can cycle Nimble to counter some sort of targeted or activated ability. So definitely leave that online. It's kind of like the cat Jesus of birds if you're keeping score at home. But actually, I think we might still go ahead and flash out in just to kind of get it on the battlefield. That way we can get some sort of clock going. Yeah, let's go and cast it. Gonna get the evolve trigger on Cloudfin Raptor. I was hoping to catch just some sort of like fetch land or something like that. Otherwise, we could have swung. Ooh, drawn to coat of arms. Okay, it is all coming according to plan. Let's go and get down 4. Let's go and push in 4. It's going to be 4 coming across on our opponent with 5 cards in the hand. Actually, if we're going for a coat of arms wins, I'd hate to run into some sort of flash dragon or something like that. So we're just going to go and pass the turn. That may be a little bit cautious, but I mean, we only have 2 dragons on the battlefield at this point, right? Or 2 birds on the battlefield at this point right now. Okay, Crackling Doom. 2 damage each opponent and sacks a creature. So that will be Nimble on that one, unfortunately. All right, adios, Nimble. And that still leaves Cloudfin on the battlefield. We're going to kick it back over there. So we are getting in the range of our opponent being able to get down Scion. At least next turn we'll be able to get down Tatyova. Now, when you're playing a land commander, one of the things that you want to try to do, if possible, is when you're getting down your land commander, be able to make a land drop the turn you get it down, because there's no worse feeling than getting down Tatyova. We don't have a land drop to make. She gets hit by some sort of spot removal, and then actually that's my playmat. Another deals X damage. Okay, that's yeah, and I'll kind of talk about that here in a second. Ooh, drawn to Life from the Loam finally. In fact, let's go and do that. Let's go and go for the Naya Panorama activation. Let's go and grab Forest. Let's go for Life from the Loam. That way we can bring back Naya Panorama. That'll go back to the hand, and doing a Pongify on that. You know what? Let's just leave up Pongify at this point right now. I think we can get past Scourge. Yeah, or another dragon enters the battlefield under your control, deals X damage, or X number of dragons you control. You know what? Yeah, let's wait. Let's do it during their upkeep. That way they're not going to be able to swing in with it. Because now that I think about it, if we're going to try to sit back and draw into some birds, that damage will add up, especially if we're going to get some pretty good dragons going. So that also kind of forced them to maybe going for a Scion line of play, but with Scourge. So when I first got into Magic, the gaming store that I went to, I was like, all right, I need a playmat. I was like, I don't have a playmat. And they had like 3 of them. It was kind of one of those, you know, local gaming stores now, they've gotten to be a lot more nicer and cleaner and a lot more friendly for pretty much anybody who wants to get into Magic the Gathering. This is definitely one of those kind of like good old boys, like kind of dirty comic book shop. And he only had like 4 or 5 playmats, and the dragon was one of them. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just go for the dragon. And so as time went on, I just did not like that playmat. And anyway, it's the playmat I use for my channel. I have it on my desk right now because I don't use it at Magic tournaments. So it's kind of cool to think about the very first playmat that I got into Magic with is one that I do my channel stuff on. So, all right, we do hit a pretty good dredge off of Life from the Loam. So we're looking at Tatyova. It's going to be a little bit of setting up, but I think we're okay with that. Because we're going to be able to bring back Reliquary Tower, which would definitely be really good. That way we have no maximum hand size. Or if we want to, we can simply just get down and get the land drop. You know what? Well, they got 5 cards in the hand. Either way, we don't have any protection for Tatyova, so we might as well just go ahead and get her down. Alright, get the Evolve trigger going. Let's get down Naya Panorama. We're going to gain life and draw a card. Draw into Worldly Tutor, okay, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. So we're not going to swing into Cloud Fin because that is a 4/4 over there, which we do not want to swing into. At this point right now, we have Tatyova on the battlefield. We'll see if our opponent has some sort of spot removal. Hopefully we can get Life from the Loam going and start dredging some of those, Naya Panorama out of the graveyard. We can at least go for an activation to get that land on the battlefield and then bring it back out with Life from the Loam and get an additional card draw. Typically with Tatyova, even if you don't have access to fetch lands and stuff like that, stuff like Evolving Wilds and then the other one, little things like that just allow you to kind of basically make 2 land drops in one turn. Those go a long way, and especially the panoramas too. So if you're looking to build Tatyova in a budget, definitely kind of jam some of those panoramas in there, and that's a good budget alternative to fetch lands. But if you have the fetch lands, put them in there because it feels really good. All right, so let's see what our opponent's going to go for off of this Scion activation. That's going to be Dragon Lord. Okay, whenever it attacks, creatures defending player control get -1/-1 till end of turn. Okay, that's not too bad. I mean, basically that's just kind of like a 3/7 coming across. So, and we're not going to be able to chump block on the monkey token. And I always appreciate that the monkey has a jeweled necklace on it. Looks pretty nice. All right, so that's going to be 6 coming across. Put us down to 22. That is okay in our book. And that will be 3 total commander damage too. Alright, opponent's going to go for Animate Dead. And that's going to be, ooh, okay. Unfortunately, I think they might end up targeting Tatyova on that. Which if they do, that's going to be a pretty big bummer. Maybe they target us. No, okay, they're going to go for Tatyova. Okay, that Solongar play makes a little bit more sense now. So that's going to take care of Tatyova. That's back on the battlefield with that Animate Dead. We can grab something with Worldly Tutor if we wanted to, but unfortunately, we could go for Tireless Tracker. That'll give us some card draw. You know what? Let's just see what we draw into for the turn. It's going to be Sage Aven. Okay, look at the top 4, put them back in any order. Let's get Tatyova pulled back up. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we will not be able to get down Tatyova because that's going to be 7 mana. Let's go for the Naya Panorama Crack. And let's put Force onto the battlefield. Let's go ahead and go for Life from the Loam, bringing all these lands back to our hand. Go get down Reliquary Tower. Now that does put us in a spot where we can at least leave up Worldly Tutor if we want to go for something like that. We can't get down Sage Haven, but the only downside to Coat of Arms, if we're going to go for a Coat of Arms win, is that with Coat of Arms, each creature gets +1 for each other creature on the battlefield, and that counts towards dragons. So we need to make sure that we at least have more birds on our side of the battlefield. But it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can tap out for Tatyova next turn and still make the land drop. So we'll go and let this come on through. That's going to be 6, 10, puts us down to 12. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so that puts us down to 12. Yeah, let's go ahead and fire up Worldly Tutor. We need to get something going for next turn. I mean, play lands, additional land on each of your turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We get that down 9. We're a little bit far away from, or if we wanted to go for something like Oracle. You know, let's go and put Aven Smokeweaver on top. Aven Smokeweaver does have protection from red, so at least we can start chump blocking on Scourge. Or at least just kind of throwing a blocker in front of it. And then, so we'll draw into that. And then, no, not going to dredge Life from Loam on this one. Let's go ahead and get down Tatyova. We'll see if she's going to stick or not. It's going to be another Evolve trigger, making it a 3/4. And then let's go ahead and get down Naya Panorama. That'll allow us to gain an additional life and draw another card. Do we want to dredge Life from the... Yeah, let's go and dredge Life from the Loam. Okay, unfortunately we didn't hit any lands off. I was hoping to hit some sort of fetch lands, and then anything else we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. Now I did add a new card to the deck, and that is the Murmuring Mystic, which if you're keeping score at home, whenever we cast an instant or sorcery spell, that puts a 1/1 bird token onto the battlefield. So that's something we can definitely... our opponent went for Path to Exile on their monkey token, or their ape token. Okay, so we'll see what. I guess I need to hit black or hit a land drop for next turn or something like that. But with Murmuring Mystic, whenever we cast an instant or sorcery spell, it puts a 1/1 blue bird token on the battlefield, which works out pretty well with Coat of Arms. But we'll see if we're going to be able to survive this one or not. Destroy all non-dragon creatures. Okay, so that's going to be 7 coming across for next turn. For this turn, yeah, unfortunately, with one-sided board wipes in a dragon deck like that is exceptionally well. So that will be 7 coming across, puts us down. Let's see what we draw to. It's not going to be looking that good. Draw to Island. Yeah, I guess we get down Aven Smokeweaver. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, because if we just simply get down Tatyova, it's not going to do much. Yeah, let's go for Aven Smokeweaver. It's got flying and protection from red. And then we'll get the land drop down. And then let's go and go for Sage Haven. That way at least we can look at the top part of our library. Put them back in any order. And I guess at this point, let's do this. Let's go for Raven Familiar. Actually, let's go Raven Familiar, Blighted Woodland. Let's go Aven, and then Mana Crypt. Because Mana Crypt, that allows us to at least get a little bit extra mana. Well, actually, now that I think, well, we can still get down Mana Crypt and see what we can do. That'll allow us to at least kind of negate some of that commander attacks on Tatyova. At this point right now, we're still looking at Aven Smoke Sensor, Smoke Weaver, blocking on Scourge. So, or let's see if they got some removal. Let's see what they're going to go for off of this Scion activation. All right, becomes a copy of Atarka, which is going to have Trample. And since they did that at their instep, yeah, either way, so that's going to be good. Yeah, we'll get game to our opponent. That's going to be hard for us to do that because, I mean, yeah, even with Biomass, we just, well, let's see. Let's see how it goes. Who knows? But I'm pretty sure that's it because whenever they deal damage, flying and trample, we're going to let them swing on through. But long story short, we can block with Aven Smoke, Smoke Weaver. That's going to negate the red damage over here. But since, oh, excuse me, I thought that would have lasted until next turn with that activation. Never mind, I thought that was going to swing yeah, until end of turn. I thought that since technically it was end of turn. Either way, I looked at that wrong. So we'll see what they're going to go for as far as the activation. Either way, we've got Aven able to block on Scourge. Oh, Obstinat's Aid. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. All right, so they went for Obstinat's Aid on Atarka, and that basically puts us down to 2. They're going to search your library for a dragon card. Let's see what they search up. And that's going to be Ojatai, swinging in for a 5/6. All right, so you can definitely, if you're a fan of Scion, and you want to see some pretty tight Scion play, this is a really good play by our opponent, a really good showing of by our opponent, really putting the deck through the works as far as, grabbing key. That's that Drifting Death Act line of play was just beautiful. All right, they're going to come across, they tap down our Aven, that will be lethal. Good game to our opponent. Unfortunately, the birds could not get it done. This is one of those decks that if we get down Tatyova, we start making land drops, start drawing a ton of cards, it's just a ton of fun. But if your opponent has a ton of spot removal, it keeps Tatyova off the battlefield, as they should, because Tatyova is busted sometimes. You can definitely control the game, and they did. So, but this was a really good Scion showing, so I'll definitely be posting this video up in some form or fashion. But if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Jhoira's Junkyard. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, it looks pretty good. We've got 3 artifacts. We got 4 lands. We're going to go ahead and keep on this one. And I'm kidding. It is Jhoira's Junkyard, not Jhoira. I wanted to see if anybody would hop onto that comment train real quick and be like, Jolt, no, it's not that. Anything else, we're going to go to pass turn, get down the Flooded Strand, and then I'll cover commanders in just a second. But yes, welcome to Jhoira's Junkyard. We're going to be slinging some artifacts around, hopefully getting a good storm count going up today. We made some new additions to the deck, which I'm really excited to cover. Let's go and crack this Flooded Strand and go and grab Steam Vents. I think that sounds pretty good. Have that come into play tap. Not going to pay 2 life on that one, no. We will not. And then, yeah, we're just going to get down Island, I think. That sounds pretty good. Get down Island. Let's go for Is It Signet? Yeah, tap out for 1-2. That way we can get down Jhoira, and we'll be good to go. Kick it back over there. We're playing Jhoira, Weatherlight Captain. Whenever you cast an historic spell, which is going to be an artifact, legendary, or saga, draw a card. Playing against Roas, God of Victory. May have said that wrong. Indestructible Devotion 7 turns into a creature. Then creatures you control have menace and prevent all damage that be dealt to attacking creatures that you control. Draw into Grape Shot. There we go. We have a win condition. Let's go and get down Jhoira. I think that, yeah, I like that. Let's get down Island. Let's go ahead and make sure we tap the filter mana first. Let's tap out for Jhoira. That's going to be 1-2. Get her down, and then, yeah, we're going to go for Spellbook. That's fine. We're going to cast that one, draw an additional card. We don't really have that explosive of a hand. I did draw into Phyrexian Altar, okay, and then we'll kick it back over there. But yeah, as far as the deck goes, if you haven't seen the video before, I did put out a deck tech series on it, so if you need to go back through my catalog, check it out. I do have it sectioned off in a playlist section, so that's something you want to check out. You can definitely see. But yeah, basically it's just kind of Cheerio Storm. In the original video, I called it Egg Storm because all the artifacts were 0 cost, and I thought that was Egg. But technically Egg is you're in like Ironworks to where you're sacrificing a bunch of stuff and drawing a bunch of cards. But with this one, we're simply just getting out cheap artifacts. All right, I was going to get down Academy Ruins. Let's go ahead and go for, let's get down Foundry Inspector. I think I like that. Tap out on Foundry Inspector, get down Academy Ruins, go for Foundry Inspector. That's going to give us a reduced cost on the rest of our artifacts, and we can at least go and get down Phyrexian Altar for 1. Get that down, we're going to draw an additional card, draw into Reliquary Tower, okay. And then anything else, now we're going to go and pass turn our opponent. Now, we do have Storm Count of 2. Unfortunately, you know, if we had the mana, we could go for Grape Shot. But typically what you want to do with this particular deck is you want to get down a bunch of stuff like Spellbook, keep chaining through these artifacts, and get into this point to where you end up with this really, really high Storm Count. And that's going to give you an additional, basically give you the game off that one. We have a couple of different Storm stuff in here where you can see we have Grape Shot. Okay, opponent's going to go for Disenchant on Foundry Inspector. Yeah, that's fine. We have Grape Shot in here. We also have Empty the Warrens, and then Mind's Desire. I think it's Mind. No, not Mind's Desire. It's the one that's Ignite Memories. I love the art on that one. That's another Storm's win condition for us. And then I also recently added some new cards to the deck. Once we got done with the deck tech, it's basically I know one of them is Firebrand Archer, because whenever you cast I think like a non-creature spell, it deals 1 damage. Basically, we added 3 creatures to the deck that are going to deal damage. So whoever left that comment, thank you very much. That was a really good suggestion for the deck. I did get that added. But it kind of gives us basically like Storm on a creature. You know, we don't really have to worry about the actual Storm count. As long as we just start ripping through our artifacts, we'll be good to go. Our opponent did get down Bright Hearth, Banneret. Elemental and Warrior spells cost 1 less to cast. Okay, let's go and get down Scalding Tarn. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go and crack Scalding Tarn. Let's go and grab a mountain off that one. Let's go and go for Hedron Archive. Tap out on a cat. I guess we could put Foundry Inspector on top if we want to. Let's go and do this. Let's go ahead and go for tap out for 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're not gonna have enough mana for that. All right, we're simply just gonna go for Hedron Archive. Let's get another card draw going. Draw into a mountain. Okay. And then anything else, we're going to kick the turn over to our opponent. But you can see in some of the videos, you know, you get down Jhoira, and you end up getting a lot of artifacts out, start drawing a lot of cards. There's a couple times where I had to speed the video up because we were just, you know, going the combo off or whatever. But you can see right now, you know, we're not really ripping into some of those artifacts, but still a really fun deck to play. All right, opponent's going to go for the Spirit Binder. Create a token that's a copy of it. So we'll see if they're going to be able to, if they're going to get any extra value out of making a copy of Jhoira. But yeah, as far as the beginning of the video, I don't know, I just wanted to start it out with Jhoira instead of Jhoira, just to see if I could catch anybody in the comments super quick. So, but yeah, then from time to time, I'm known to butcher some English words, so I do appreciate people letting me know. But it was just funny. I almost started to keep count with how many comments that I started to get throughout the day. I'm like, yes, all right. Yes, everybody, we know. Anyway, that's what makes it fun, though. But we'll be hopefully we'll be drawn into an artifact sometime. So if we don't run into an artifact next turn, we do have Hedron Archive. We can go for that 2-mana activation, sacrifice it to draw 2 cards. We're not under a huge clock from our opponent. We're looking at 4 coming across, putting us down to 21. So we've got a few more turns. But let's see, we draw into Everflowing Chalice. Okay, let's go and do this. Let's go and go for, let's get down Reliquary Town. Let's go for Everflowing Chalice. We're going to straight up just cast it at this point right now. All right, drawn to Aetherflux Reservoir. Let's see if we can't keep this chain going. And that's one of the things that I really wanted to get was a Aetherflux Reservoir win. I thought that was going to be a lot of fun. I was going to tap out for Aetherflux Reservoir. It's going to be 1, 2. Do we want to go for Academy Ruins activation? Yeah, let's go and do that. Let's put Foundry Inspector on top. That's going to be tapping out. Actually, we're not going to be able to cast that just yet, so I'd rather get into another artifact. All right, so we're going to draw an additional card off Jhoira, draw into Sulphur Falls, okay. And then, yeah, that's fine. We have Storm Count too. If we wanted to go for any target, we could take care of the... Yeah, let's just go and pass the turn. Let's wait. We may end up putting Foundry Inspector on top of the library. I think I like going for that. Once we end up doing that, that's going to be 3 mana and also give us a reduced cost, so it's going to allow us to draw an additional card. Sorry about that. Get that out of the way. Then threw my train of thought off. But yeah, it's going to allow us to draw an additional card. But yeah, we're probably going to go ahead and crack Hedron Archive to draw 2 cards. That way we can really start getting some stuff going, especially now that we have Aether Flux Reservoir on the battlefield. Whenever we cast a spell, we're going to be able to gain 1 life for each spell that we cast this turn, and then we're going to be able to pay 50 life to deal 50 damage to 1 target. Now, what we can do with that 1 target is we can blast this Banner Red if we need to. If our opponent gets a 1/1 Goblin on the battlefield, we can teach that Goblin whose business. But more than likely, we might end up sending it about our opponent. That's one of the things about Aether Flux Reservoir that's always made me laugh is that if you need to send a message, you can just like get this entire like energy cannon to blow up a 1/1 Goblin. All right, opponent's going to go for Where Ancients Tread. Excuse me. Whenever a creature with 5 or greater enters the battlefield, deals 5 damage to any target. Okay. Yeah, we need to get moving on that one. It's going to go for Academy Ruins. Let's go and put Foundry Inspector on top. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. Oop. Excuse me. And then anything else that we need to know. Pass the turn back over. So we're going to draw into Foundry Inspector. Let's go and get down Foundry Inspector. That's going to be 1, 2. That's going to be 1 Aether Flux trigger. And let's go and get the Jhoira trigger going too. All right, draw the City of Brass. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and crack on Hedron Archive. Yeah, we need to get some stuff going. That's going to be 1, 2. Draw 2 more cards. Okay, draw into Fell Stone and then Lightning Greaves. Let's do this. Let's go and get down Sulphur Falls. Let's go and go for Fell Stone. Or do we want to go for Lightning Greaves on Jhoira? That way we have some... Yeah, let's go and do that. It's going to cost 1 less. Let's tap out on Sulphur Falls. Let's go for Is It Signet. Let's go for Lightning Greaves. We're going to be able to draw an additional card off that one, getting the reduced cost off that Foundry Inspector. And it's also going to give it some protection from the Where Ancients Tread. Okay, let's get down Lightning Greaves. Let's go and equip that onto Jhoira. Let's go and go for Fell Stone. Drawn to Wood Foothills, and then we can still going to get down Ensnaring Bridge. It's not going to do much in this particular matchup at this point right now, but at least we're getting some good card draw going. We got our Storm Count up to about 4 at this point, and then, all right, opponent's going to scoop it up, but we didn't really get anything done on this one. You can see we just have a bunch of lands in the hand. As far as next turn goes, we didn't really have that much of a card draw. We could have put Hedron Archive back on top with Academy Ruins. That would have allowed us to draw a few more cards, especially after we cast it. So that would have given us an option to do something, but we are playing Storm, and then sometimes this does happen when you play Storm. You just don't get these incomplete games. You get these incomplete games, but you can see where definitely one of the win conditions that we were going to try and assemble is going to be Aether Flux Reservoir. So let's say that we did make it to next turn. We put Hedron Archive on top. We get the card draw from casting it. Draw 2 cards, so we can also crack it again to draw... we draw 1 card, crack it again to draw 2 cards, and then we're going to be slowly working towards that Aether Flux Reservoir trigger next turn. We're ripping into a lot of lands, and we have a ton of artifacts in here, so I think we're just getting a little unlucky with our card draw. So between the Aether Flux Reservoir and then using Grape Shot the following turn, it might have been able to kind of close it out depending on what was going on. But it's an incomplete game, so I might end up posting it in some form or fashion. But if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Darien, King of Keldor. We've been tasked with finding the Hound of Konda. So, pretty excited. As far as opening hand goes, yes, we're going to keep on this one. I like it. We have double planes in the hand. We have Marble Diamond. And we have Catapult Master. It's funny, when I go to record certain commanders, sometimes I get really lucky and I get a really good video right off the bat, and then I can move on to the next one. But sometimes you have to end up recording 3 or 4 or 5 times with a certain commander. And unfortunately, I've had to do that with Darien. And let's go and get down planes, and then anything else we're going to go and pass the turn. But anyway, I've had Catapult Master in my opening hand like a really high percentage a lot of these times. So, and I always like Catapult Master because of his he's really happy. Looks like he's excited to start exiling some creatures. Anyway, let's cover our commander. So, we are playing Darien, King of Keldor. Whenever you're dealt damage, you may create that many 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. And we are playing against the Hound of Konda. Isamaru, which might be how you say it, or might be wrong. Let's go and get down Plains. Let's go and go down Marble Diamond, and then we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. So playing gets a Hound of Konda, and there's not really much to read. It's just a 1-mana, 2/2 legendary Hound creature. It's a good boy. The Hound sniffed the air and let slip a low growl. General Takino looked down at the faithful Isamaru and calmed him with a touch. Alert the men. The Kami are coming. All right, there we go. Yeah, there's never any sort of, it looks like we're playing against mono white, just ramp creatures, not ramp creatures, but mono white weenies. Kind of like that. But yeah, if there's ever a creature or commander that does not have any sort of rules text or anything, I always like to read their flavor text. So let's go and get down Plains. Now, as far as what we can get down, we can go for Gold Knight Commander. I think hopefully we should be able to stabilize. If we end up getting down, let's see, we go for Glorious Anthem. That's going to be us completely tapping out. Get down Gold Knight Commander. It's going to be a 3/3. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go for Glorious Anthem. The good thing about Glorious Anthem is that it's going to give our creatures that bonus +1/+1. There are a few kind of Anthem effects that give everybody, or at least, maybe white creatures +1/+1. So at least thankfully with us getting down Glorious Anthem, that's going to allow us to, I think Crusade is the one that's a 2-mana enchantment that gives all white creatures +1/+1. So in this particular matchup, that would not help us giving them a +1/+1. In fact, it would probably help them out a little bit more. Opponent's going to go for Marshal's Anthem. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Okay, it's basically just going to be tapped down for 1. Yeah, they're just going to get that +1/+1, so they will end up basically kind of negating our Glorious Anthem, and that's going to allow them to be 3/6/9 swinging across. It's going to put us down to 15. We'll see what we can do. See what we draw into. Draw into Staff of Nin. Let's go and get down Plains. That's going to put us at 5 total mana. And let's go and go for Catapult Master. We don't have the soldiers for Catapult Master just yet, but thankfully in the world of 3/3s, the 4/4 is king. So we can at least stop the motley crew of creatures our opponent has. We've got a lion over there, we've got a Hound, and we've got an Elite Vanguard. And I've always enjoyed Elite Vanguard because it reminds me of getting into Magic. Just simply a 2/1, the art on there. I don't know. It's always pretty cool. All right, but it's going to go for Fiend Hunter. It's going to take care of our Catapult Master. It's going to get rid of that smile on his face. And then, thankfully, if we can get rid of Fiend Hunter, we'll at least be able to get Catapult Master back. But at least at this point right now, it's not looking so hot for us. It looks like Hound of Konda is going to get it on this one. And this is one of those where you have, if it's graveyard versus graveyard, mono black versus mono black, you always want to win the mirror match in, at least color-wise. And it looks like our opponent's going to get it. All right, drawn to Palace Jailer. And I think it's going to be lethal. Yeah, no matter what we get down. So even if we get down Gold Knight Commander, that's going to be a 3/3. They're still going to be able to push past. Good game to our opponent. The good boy's going to get it on this one. All right, anyway, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.